Hey guys, so I know I haven't posted a video in a while. I'm really sorry, I've wanted to. It's just been so busy, senior year, driving me crazy. I haven't had the time to film. But this is a video that I've been wanting to film for a while and it's important, so I decided I had to make time. It's probably gonna be long, so sit back, relax, pop some popcorn, put your feet up. But it's important to me, so I really hope that you like it. So this past week there have been two really special anniversaries, I guess, for me. The first one was my last day of therapy for now. I mean, I'm not going to say ever, but at least until things go pear-shaped again. And then I had my 6-month anniversary of being discharged from the partial hospitalization program I was in 6 months ago. So before I start, I just want you guys to know that I'm not doing this for pity or attention. I just really think that sharing my story could help some people, maybe one of you watching this. And I just don't want anyone to think that, oh, she's making this up, because this all is very true and it happened to me and it was very scary and very hard at the time, but I'm ready to share it, so here we go. So I've been suffering from anxiety for my entire life, for as long as I can remember, and it's not just the usual, like, there's a math test today, or this is the biggest competition of the year anxiety. It was like an all-consuming anxiety that took over my life. When I was in elementary school, I had all these fears, and now thinking back on them, I know that they were crazy and pretty much impossible, and I shouldn't have been afraid of them, but at the time, it was so real and so scary for me. Like, I could not function. I mean, people now make jokes about them, like people that I've told, and it's funny, like, I'll be like, haha, but it's honestly something that still I remember feeling like something bad was gonna happen. I was extremely afraid of turning into something I wasn't, and that was mostly like a boy. Used to think I would wake up and be a boy suddenly. Like, I knew logically that that couldn't happen, but in my brain, I was just so worried about it. I would wake up thinking that I could turn into an animal. I would always have to remind myself, like, no, you're not gonna wake up and be a dog or an elephant or whatever. And so whenever I'd have one of these intrusive thoughts, or if someone would say, like, but I'm a boy, or joking, like, you're a dog. Someone actually said that, and I still remember to this day. It was awful. But if I was touching another object, like a book, the wall, a blanket, my hands were dirty, and I had to wash them, and I'd wash them a billion times a day, and they were red and raw and cracked and bloody all the time. And that's how my parents finally realized that there was something not right, because I could not go without washing my hands. I would get up in the middle of class, I would get up in the middle of the night in like a cold sweat and be like, I need to just wash my hands. It was awful. It hurt so bad, but I just couldn't stop. I knew I had to, but something inside me was just like, it's more important that you don't. I was also a bit of a hypochondriac, but more in the way of, I thought I could catch diseases that you can't really catch. Like, I would think that I could get a special need like autism or Down syndrome, or that I was going to suddenly get cancer. And I would write these little notes to myself, and I still find them today, and it's really sad, like buried in drawers or in my closet, that say, like, I do not have autism, over and over again. And it's awful. It just brings back those memories of when that was a really real fear for me. And it's really embarrassing, but it's a part of my history, and it's a part of who I am. So whenever my anxiety got to be too much, I'd tell my mom, I can't think of happy things. And she'd remind me of a trip that we were going on soon, or something that I was looking forward to, like, Halloween's next week, you're dressing up as Cinderella for the 4th year in a row, you know, something to just get my mind off of it, because I just could not physically do that. As obsessive compulsive as they come, and that's kind of why it bothers me when people say, I'm so OCD, or that's just my OCD acting up, when they can't function when things of the same color aren't grouped together, or like there's one book a little off in a stack, like, oh, that's just gonna bother me so much. Like, yeah, it bothers me too sometimes, but you don't really know until you feel this like crippling fear that something bad is gonna happen, like a friend, a sibling, a parent is gonna die unless you do this thing. I was a synchronized swimmer for 6 years, and we would do underwaters. We would swim the length of the pool all the way, and I wouldn't tell myself, these thoughts would pop into my head that my mom would die if I didn't make this underwater, or dinosaurs would come and attack humans, and it's stupid, but I didn't really have control of them, and I would push myself to do these underwaters, and it was awful, and sometimes that's why I still can't do them. I'm like a race swimmer now, but I still just almost cannot do them because I get this fear again. It just brings back all those memories. It's just awful. So luckily in middle school, after seeing countless therapists, I had like 7 therapists over the course of like 8 years, I think. I just kind of grew out of those fears, I guess, and those behaviors, which is really lucky because a lot of people suffer from them their entire life. I still had OCD tendencies. Every little like intrusive thought or like bad thought, like if my brother was being annoying and I was like, I wish he'd just disappear, or anything rude, I would write it down in a notebook, and every night I would sit down with my mom and I would read her these thoughts, or I would give it to her so she could read them. And I was in hysterics often. I thought I was the worst person ever. Like, I couldn't control these thoughts, just like everyone has these thoughts they can't control, but I truly felt that they made me an awful person. And I had a weight problem, which thankfully kind of evened itself out when I got to high school, but I had such a low self-esteem, and I literally thought I was the worst person on the planet just for these thoughts, and because I thought I was ugly and not worth it. And it was really sad, and thinking back, I just wish I could give the old me a hug and say, it's gonna be okay, you're gonna get to that place where you feel good about yourself. Then, when I started high school, things kind of evolved again, and my OCD kind of morphed into an eating disorder. Freshman year was pretty rough. That's when it kind of started. I kind of went through cycles of eating little to nothing, like, for a few days. Then whatever I would eat, I would throw up, or just eating whatever I could. And then I'd be fine for a while and just eat normally. It could be a couple days, it could be a month or two, these cycles, I don't know. But sophomore year is when things really started to go downhill. My friend and I weren't speaking, and during swim season, I literally did nothing. I wasn't eating, but it wasn't just because like I had to be skinny, it was just because I wasn't hungry, I was sad. I lost weight super fast, and I hit my lowest weight in second semester of sophomore year, because after swim ended, I had to keep going with the weight loss, and people would say, like, oh, you're so skinny, like, what's your secret, how do you do this? And I'd just be like, I just try and eat healthy and exercise. But I was actually eating only fruits and vegetables. If anything that wasn't a fruit or vegetable like went in my mouth, I felt like a horrible person. I would throw it up. And then I would go to the Y for hours at a time and like just push myself to burn a certain amount of calories. Like I'd have it in my phone on my app that I used, what I ate that day, and it'd be like a banana, a salad with no dressing, some baby carrots, and an applesauce. And it'd be like however many calories, and I'd have to burn like twice that much just to justify eating what I did. And it was awful, but people complimented me and they thought I looked good and they admired me, and I never had been that girl. I'd always been the girl that was bigger than everyone else, that couldn't really dress like the other girls because I was self-conscious about my stomach and my thighs and my arms and my everything basically. I hated myself. I truly hated myself. I thought I was fat, ugly, the worst person ever. I would go shopping, and if I couldn't fit into a size small, I wouldn't buy it. I had to make myself fit the clothes. Like, the clothes didn't have to fit me, and that's something that my mom has been drilling into my head. Like, the clothes have to fit you. You don't have to fit the clothes. Then after sophomore year, I started eating more. I got a job at Panera, which actually really helped because I love bread. I was eating bread all the time. And I was trying to, like, self-recover, but it didn't really work. After swim season junior year, I just went right back to it. And what really hit me was that I would just get so upset if I couldn't stick to these plans that I had made for myself for meals or exercise. And I'd write it on, like, there's a whiteboard behind the camera, and I'd write down, like, however many push-ups, sit-ups, lunges, jumping jacks, burpees, whatever I was going to do, and it was, like, insane amounts, and I'd do it, like, 5 times, and if I didn't do that, I'd get really upset, and I'd just cry. For a bunch of fitness equipment for my 17th birthday, which I got, but I don't use it anymore. Like, there's a yoga mat, like, curled up in the corner, and these exercise bands that, like, I wanted them at the time, but I didn't really want them. My eating disorder wanted them. And when everything kind of changed for me, it was a couple of days after my 17th birthday, in December of last year, when I was too tired to continue with this, like, yoga thing I was doing. Like, it was intense, like, cardio yoga. I just collapsed on my yoga mat and I was crying. I couldn't even get through one workout. Like, what? I was worthless, I was fat, I was disgusting. I talked to one of my friends who, we hadn't been talking for a really long time, but we did just, like, the week before started talking again, and I'm really grateful that she was there for me because I just never would have gotten through this without her. But that night, I told my mom about everything that was happening, and I mean, she knew that I was, like, getting skinnier, but she just thought I was losing weight healthy, but I wasn't. So we made an appointment with the most recent therapist I had, and she was really cool, but we just had stopped seeing her because she had a baby, and then I think she had, like, twins, like, not too far after that or something, I don't know. And she referred us to this eating disorder partial hospitalization program at Rogers Memorial Hospital, and I had a phone interview a few weeks after the appointment and was accepted. And my first day was on January 20th, 2015. At first I really didn't want to be there, but I got through the first day, the first week, and then about a week and a half, 2 weeks later, I just was feeling horrible. I felt like I was fatter than all the other girls in the program, and I didn't have that many friends, and I had to drop classes to go to partial every day from, like, it was like 11 to 6 every day. And I just felt worthless, like, because I couldn't really talk to my friends anymore, because they'd be like, oh, this happened at lunch, and I'd be like, this happened at the mental hospital, like, that's not really something you talk about, but, anyway, so I decided that I was going to kill myself, and I think it was a Thursday, and I was going to do it on Saturday. And the next day, Friday, on my check-in sheet, I wrote that I was having thoughts of self-harm, and so my therapist brought me into her office, and I told her pretty much everything, because she was really cool. Shout out to Christy and also Kim, who was, like, they were in transition. Anyways, whatever. So I started editing this video. I've been editing it for, like, half an hour, and I realized there's, like, a whole chunk missing. So I'm just gonna tell you it right now, because I don't want to refilm this whole thing. Basically, told my therapist, he sent me to the main hospital, and it was awful. I hated it there. Lots of crazy things happened. I'll probably make another video about those later, because it'll take forever, and I don't want this to be too long, but, yeah, I got out of there as soon as possible. So I went back to partial literally the next day, and I was just, my mindset was completely changed. I didn't want to have to go back to inpatient. I was determined to recover, and I did. On March 23rd, 2015 was my official discharge date, and just in time for our spring break trip to Florida, which was really fun. And since then, I've been doing therapy once a week, meeting with a dietitian every 2 weeks, and meeting with a psychologist and a psychiatrist, something, once a month. But finally, on the 22nd of September, I had the 21st of September? The 21st of September, I had my last therapy appointment ever, and I only have to see my psychological person every couple of months just to make sure my medicines are on track, and I feel like I'm a completely different person than I was 6 months ago. Like, I truly love myself. I love my life right now. I mean, sure, there's some parts I wish I could change, like, everybody has certain things that are unhappy with them, but in general, I just really feel like I'm so blessed, and I'm so glad that I was able to recover, because it was not fun, but I know that putting in the work and continuing with therapy even over the summer, which kind of sucked, but I just knew I had to do it and get it over with, and I'm honestly so thankful for everyone that was a part of my recovery process, because I could not have done it without their support. I mean, sometimes I do still get down on myself and kind of go back to those old ways of thinking, but I mean, I just remind myself that I don't need to apologize to the world for being myself. I mean, sure, I'm loud and obnoxious, awkward and clumsy. I laugh way too loud at my own jokes, and there's more cereal in my bed than there is out of it, but that's just who I am. There's nothing I can do to change it. I wouldn't want to change it. I'm so grateful that I was able to receive treatment, because I would honestly still be stuck hating life and stuck in this cycle of starve, purge, exercise, over and over. And I truly believe that God put me through this so I could learn that I'm stronger than I thought I was, and that I can love myself, and it's not like a crime to love yourself and think you're a good person. It doesn't make you self-centered. And I'm so happy that I can share this with you guys and everybody, because I really, really believe that needing intensive treatment for mental illness is not something to be ashamed of. I mean, I'm not ashamed to talk about it, so if you come up to me and you're like, hey, how was the hospital? I'd be like, oh, really sucky, but I feel great now. So if you're suffering from any kind of mental illness, not just anxiety or an eating disorder or depression, just anything, if you're a little bit stressed out, just talk to someone. It's going to be probably the hardest thing you'll ever do, but you need to get to this problem sooner rather than later so you can enjoy the rest of your life. I mean, it might not be good right away, but just give it time. I promise you, you will be able to get to that place where you feel confident and you feel good about yourself, and just so many good things will happen. I'll leave my links below: Tumblr, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, whatever. Shoot me a message anywhere. I'll try and help, but unless, like, I know you personally, it's going to be kind of hard to get you help, especially if you live somewhere far away. So just tell someone close to you. Thank you so much for watching. I love you so, so much. All of you precious peaches. Please like this video if you liked it. Please share it with your friends, because it's a really important video to me, and I'm really excited about this. Sorry. Subscribe if you'd like to see more of my face. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye.